Denmark-based Ramboll is a sustainable engineering and architecture consultancy with 16,000 employees working in 300 offices in 35 countries. Late last month, Ramboll announced that it had acquired US-based EYP Mission Critical Facilities, a 50-employee firm specializing in the strategic planning, design, and commissioning of data centers. This acquisition brings to more than 100 the number of dedicated data center experts in Ramboll's global stable. Joining us today to discuss this marriage are Jim Fox, Ramboll's Managing Director for the Americas, and Rick Einhorn, EYP MCF's Managing Director. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Great to be here.
Yeah. Let's start off by exploring a little bit how how long the two companies have been talking about this deal and what the motivations were for each firm.
Sounds great, John. Maybe I'll start, and I'm sure Rick will have a great perspective as well. Well, let me first say that we've known and respected EYP MCF for years, and we really had the opportunity for periodic collaboration over the last several years in particular. But with regard to the actual merger discussions, I'd say they really warmed up just about a year ago, John. And if I could maybe just introduce the motivation that we had, simply put, was really to strengthen Ramboll's position in global data center consultancies and to enhance sustainability in this industry. And by adding this deep domain experience, really allows Ramboll to provide an even more comprehensive suite of services, and really to greatly strengthen our ability to integrate and innovate solutions to meet the evolving needs of our clients. Really a client-centric driven strategic decision, John. Mm-hmm. Rick, maybe you can share your perspective.
Yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well. Yeah, we've known Ramboll, John, for quite some time and admired, from afar. And so this opportunity, that was presented to us to become part of the organization was something that we jumped at. You talked about EYP being a 50+ person firm, and that's great. We're super proud of that. But we also believe that, as part of Ramboll, we can become much larger. Scale is very important in the data center industry. We're seeing our customers in the States and the Americas looking to expand internationally. And the fact that Ramboll has the reach that it does, as well as the amazing focus that they have on energy and sustainability, which is so key to our customers who run data centers. It was really a perfect fit for the evolution of EYP Mission Critical.
How will the company be incorporated into the larger whole? Will it have a separate management, for example, still operate under its own logo? Tell me a little bit about the integration.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Well, we're thrilled to have EYP Mission Critical Facilities now a part of Ramboll, and that's the way that we'll start our journey together in the marketplace. And what it really has done is catalyzed our ability to form and further strengthen a global sector team in close collaboration with our energy, our environment, our buildings, and our sustainability consulting colleagues. So we're taking a very, very purposeful client-centric approach in our path forward. And in this particular case, we'll really sort of let the client voice, if you will, help guide the timeline of important items like our integration and our brand transition.
Rick, when your firm agreed to this, what about the management structure of it? I mean, in terms of will the company be pretty much run the same way it has always been?
Yeah. So while as Jim talked about, we'll be integrated into the larger data center portfolio of services and data center offering that Ramboll has in place, and bolstering that, increasing the overall capabilities of what we can offer to our customers. The business of EYP Mission Critical and the folks who report into it will stay intact as the way it is today. And that, as Jim talked about, our customers are looking more and more for the one-stop shop in terms of the ability to do all the things associated with the development, the retrofit of data center campuses, from all the site work that Ramboll does better than anybody in the business, to the MEP piece and all the sub services below that we do. So it again, that holistic offering that Jim talked about is super exciting to us and very client centric, by design.
Mhm. Rick, your firm just recently published a white paper about embodied carbon considerations for data centers. The only reason I know this is that we're putting out a special report on embodied carbon later this month. So,
Good timing.
yeah, good timing. But on a broader scale, what are some of the challenges for data centers, and how might both of your firms as in tandem address them?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm glad you're aware of that, because we put a lot of focus and thought leadership into this white paper series that we've done, which you're referencing. Actually just released the paper this week, the 5th in a series of 11 around sustainability in data center design, mission critical facility planning and operations. Yeah, look, I mean, data centers are, of any building type in any sector in the world, are the largest users of power and energy, as you know, John. So our customers are looking to do anything that they can to reduce that carbon footprint, to reduce the greenhouse gases, to become sustainable, because the reality is data center demand is growing through the roof, and it's not going to stop in the foreseeable future. So it is critical for their own ESG goals and their tenants' ESG goals that data centers are as energy efficient and sustainable as possible. And so, as I talked about, that drove our focus in looking for a partner who was not just a global engineering firm, but one who focuses on renewables and wind power and energy storage and all water and all the different elements of energy and sustainability. And it fits so nicely with the expertise that we have. So the reality is that every customer is focused on achieving a certain level percentage, of efficiency, of moving off of the grid, and this is only going to help us move forward. And now we, with Ramboll's expertise, bringing their thought leadership in this space, combining it with our own, we really think that we've got an offering that is that's unmatched out there amongst global engineering companies. Jim,
do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just add, I think just to reinforce what Rick just said, and obviously the thought leadership that he and his team are adding is really critical to understanding not just the current challenges of the data center and mission critical facilities, but also what the future challenges are. And as Rick pointed out, we've got a tremendous focus as sustainability consultants across the disciplinary area with deep experience in energy intensive industries, and obviously this is one of those industries with tremendous challenges both in energy, in water, decarbonization, even the site selection and the resiliency associated with what is needed both in terms of a water and energy infrastructure, if you will. So coming up with and co-creating or having the ability to co-create with our clients on integrated and innovative approaches, not just today, but we see this as a growing sector over the next decades.
I would think, Jim, that your company's global reach will provide you with a perspective that maybe a domestic company might not have or might not have access to.
John, I wish I could have teed that question up somehow better. That was tremendous. We've got this tremendous heritage from Ramboll in the Nordics. There's so much history and experience across all the things that we do for society, for industry, that are just deeply rooted in the heritage around what we all now know as importantly sustainability. And we're definitely bringing that global expertise, that European and Nordic expertise in particular, if you will, as a differentiator. So when you couple the thought leadership with the scale, and then on top of that, the ability to integrate multidisciplinary solutions, it's a very powerful go-to-market package that we have, John, and we're really proud of it.
Mm-hmm. I was reading Gensler's latest Design Outlook, and they have a chapter in there about data centers and about specifically immersive cooling as a technology that's becoming more prevalent. I don't know whether you agree with that, but I would like to get your take on what technologies Ramboll and EYP are looking at or have tried recently. Just how technology is going to contribute to your goals.
Sure, I'll take that one, Jim. Sure. Yeah. Immersion cooling, is one of obviously a number of new technologies or developing technologies that our customers, whether they're large cloud or hyperscaler customers or co-location data center operators or even enterprises, are evaluating today. The data center industry as a whole, as you probably know, is a conservative one. So it does take many years to have new technologies prove themselves out in operational scenarios. So with immersion cooling, for example, you need to make sure that the servers are also are designed to work as well as they possibly can in an immersion cooling liquid environment as they do in an air conditioned environment, direct air. And so it's technologies not always aligned exactly to the development of the technology along with the cooling solution or whatnot. It takes time for them to develop. Do we think there's a market for it, and will it grow? Absolutely. I mean, we're looking at many other technologies driven by the curiosity of our own engineers, but also by the end users, hyperscalers who are looking to move off of diesel generators, of course, who are looking to at hydrogen data centers. It's a consistent effort in the industry to between the end user and operators and the consultants that supply to it to determine the best solutions and to work together to incorporate them. It takes time, like it does in any industry. Reliability versus energy efficiency in the data center industry is always going to be an important challenge. In the past, it was always about reliability. And so if you develop new technologies that would hurt reliability within your data centers and disrupt revenue, then it was folks' eyes weren't as open to trying new things. But now there really is a strong push towards finding the right balance between reliability and availability of that data center and the energy efficiency and sustainability impact of that data center. So it's an ongoing thing, but certainly new technologies will always be evaluated, and that's what's great about being a part of this innovative industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My last question is about the industry in general. With the proliferation of data and content, it seems like the appetite for data center functionality is insatiable. But I'm wondering, what's your take on what the runway is for data centers, and what might be some of the roadblocks that need to be overcome?
Well, once again, probably Rick knows this
Sure.
better than anyone, so I'll let Rick start, and maybe I'll offer a few comments.
You bet. I'll jump in. So first of all, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the demand is incredible, John. We see sort of holistically a mid to high single digit CAGR for growth in this industry over the next 5 years and beyond. Nothing seems to be slowing it down. Lease rates are still, lease rates are still high in the operators. The hyperscaler and cloud companies are building like crazy, to the tune of, Facebook building, I think 47 new data centers this year. Amazon and Google, are around that as well. It's an incredible demand. Obviously, when you're building that quickly, combined with some of the impacts of COVID and the supply chain, that is a roadblock. You asked about roadblocks are there. So we're seeing like 50 weeks for long lead items right now for generators, and UPSs, and that type of thing will slow things down, as will labor, of course, as will train technicians to operate these facilities once they're up and running. the data center operators are doing a good job of designing and developing prototypes and having supply chain relationships with their vendors that can expedite some of this. But those are the biggest issues that I see are just certainly supply chain, which will correct itself, and then obviously the supply keeping up with the demand in the space.
And Mike, I'd just add, or tack on that, given that tremendous growth and continued growth that we do see among those roadblocks that Rick mentioned, and then kind of putting into the perspective of the amount of energy that is needed also to support that growth, the amount of water that's needed to support that growth, the pressures on reducing carbon footprint and greenhouse gas emissions and so forth, just really create sort of this environment, this ecosystem where sustainability is just an increasingly important element of the strategy, of the planning, of the design, of the operations and asset management. So there's a tremendous amount of a demand that is within the data center itself, and then what does that mean in terms of concentric circles of demand around that, in terms of even where you can find the appropriate site and resources to meet that demand. So again, we feel like we've got a great ability to integrate solutions that really deal with all of those roadblocks that Rick mentioned.
Gentlemen, thanks for taking a couple minutes to talk to us about it. We wish you good luck with this enterprise.
Thank you so much, John. Very
Thanks,
excited
John.
about it.
Happy to spend some time with you today. So thank you.
And thanks to our audience for joining us. This is John Caulfield with Building Design and Construction.